Hi, hi, hi. You are welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today's date is the 19th of June 2026. And in this video, we are going to be talking about something which I have never realized that was happening to me until a few days ago. Let me explain. Growing up, I've always been somebody who was very introverted. I kept to myself a lot. I had a lot of things inside, but I was just okay with it, not voicing them out. But as time went on, especially after I finished my secondary school, let's just say some things happened and I started to change. And that change actually resulted to me, let's say I started shrinking my voice, I started shrinking myself, I just started shrinking my personality. Not knowing to me, I never knew that shrinking my voice and shrinking my personality was not just only what I was doing, I was also shrinking my self expression. Let me explain. Few days ago, I wanted to update a picture on TikTok. It was a vintage inspired photo I took in church, and I really, really loved the pictures and I wanted to post them. But then I found myself overthinking this picture. I would edit it 1,000 times. I would post and delete. Like, it felt like I just wanted it to be posted in a way that it would be accepted. But then I started asking myself, why am I overthinking posting this thing? I thought and thought about it, and I kind of realized that I was overthinking this because to me, it felt different. To me, it felt like it was something that a lot of people didn't know that I liked. That yes, I liked vintage fashion, I liked vintage photography. Yes, I loved it. And it felt very somehow to be allowed to be seen in that way. And I also realized that this also applies to so many other aspects of my life, especially when it comes to expressing the things I love. For instance, music too. Yes, a lot of people know that I love music, but a lot of people don't really know that there are some certain type of music that I like too. I like reggae. Yes. I love reggae. I love blues. I love jazz. But most times I find it so difficult to actually put out that side of myself because I feel like a part of me has been so used to putting out, you know, a certain aspect, and I just didn't want to be seen in another light. But then something started happening. I started growing up, realizing myself, gaining self awareness, becoming a whole new person entirely. And you know what started happening? That part of me started trying to, like, it's as if it wants to just come out. Like, a part of me now wants to show people. Okay, let me not say show people, but a part of me now wants to start expressing the fact that I love these things. I love these things. I love to do this. I love these things. You know, but then I realized that it is kind of difficult for me. And I just never knew that, being somebody who shrinked her voice, her opinions, her personality actually started affecting my interest too. It started affecting my self expression. It started affecting the things I liked. And I just got so scared of putting out a certain aesthetic of myself. I don't know if you get, I am somebody who is so interested in diverse things. I am so interested in so many things: music, arts, bakery. Even these days, I find myself having an interest just to bake for fun. Though it always turns out horrible, but I still do it. you know, I find myself dressing up these days. I find myself trying some certain things that I know that before I wouldn't do. That is going to be another video entirely. But, and also, I've also realized that there is just this push, there is just this thing of like, I want to put it out there, not to prove anything to people, but just to prove to myself that it is okay to be seen in a certain way that you are not used to being seen. Because I just feel like for a very long time, I have put up this kind of personality that I am this way, I am that way, especially through music. Especially through music. Let me explain this part. Growing up, I was so invested in music. I loved it. I still love music with all my whole heart. But then, as time went on, I started realizing that music now became like my whole personality. It felt like it was music or nothing. But it's a lie. It is music or something. I just realized that these days that there are so many things that God has actually deposited in me aside from music. And I just want to show those things off. I don't know if you understand. So that is just what I'm trying to say, which is a part of me just want to start expressing a different side of her. I don't want to be afraid of expressing myself again. I don't want to be afraid of posting my awkward vintage pictures. I'm so sorry. My video cut off. I had some technical issues and I had to resort to using a voiceover to complete the video. But from everything I've been saying, it all just centered around, you know, expressing myself without any form of, you know, hesitation and doubt in who I am, and not feeling like as if I am doing too much or I am stepping out of the person, you know, that I used to be. And I'm also gradually learning that I can only be my authentic self when I just, exist. I've just gotten to learn that I can only find my true self if I am just actually doing the things that have been laid in my heart to do. But I have noticed that if I continue to push those things away, if I continue to be like, oh, I don't want to do this or I want to do this, I would never just get to actually realize who my authentic self is. And that is why I have decided to just try out everything that I want to try. You won't believe this thing, but this issue has also affected this YouTube channel. There was a time I was posting and then suddenly I stopped posting. Why? Because I got scared. I got scared that I was saying too much. I got scared that I was being too emotional. I got scared that I was being too sensitive because I was just so used to putting out musical content, I mean to say. So for me to come out and be saying these things, at first it was so weird. At first it felt like it was too much. At first it just felt like as if I was doing too much. I was saying too much. It was too personal. But as time went on, I started realizing that, but this is just who I am. This is me. I literally had to tell myself that you are just being you. And even with just 3 subscribers, why are you still finding it difficult just to be you? Why do you still want to just hide a certain part of you from the world? And I picked up my phone, put on my camera, and I pressed record. And I just started recording and putting out these videos all over again without even a care in the world and without caring whatever anybody wants to say. So, what I'm just trying to say is that it's a learning process. It's not something I have fully figured out. It is something I am still discovering. So, thank you so much for watching this video if you watched it. And if you can relate to everything I've talked about, you can just drop a comment. So thank you once again, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.